Hey guys. Okay, it's Ebony Cheyne again here, and I'm from Shine From Inside, shinefrominside.com. It's my company, and we work as a team. We work to help you with some wellness and some coaching and all different things that sort of enhance your life. So that could range to from nutrition to yoga, from coaching to business. So it really does go through a lot of different things. But today, I wanted to talk about emotions, and I want to talk about emotions in relation to using essential oils to support them. But first of all, I wanted to go into a little bit. I'm not going to go into like a full class about emotions, because I just kind of want to cut to the chase and let you know how, to help yourself with different feelings and difficulties in that kind of realm. But first of all, we'll go, obviously, I think, if you're here and you're watching this, then you probably understand that the body, the mind, and the soul are all very connected and are all very, very important. I learned in my life, money really doesn't bring happiness. And neither does achievements or status or things like that. It doesn't matter what you've come from. You can be very, very happy or very, very depressed or very, very troubled. And, it's not about what you have outside. It's not about, what you're wearing or how you look or anything like that. It's really about the inside. And so hence why I've gone from being, working in photography and working with all these, glamorous people in Hollywood to working with all the glamorous people I do now, but on a completely different way, about shining from inside and really helping people really get in touch with their own bodies and their own minds as well. Okay, so we're going to start a little bit. I've got so much to get through just now, so I'm a bit like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pack this in a really short video, but I'm just going to basically touch on what emotions are, how the body processes and why it's important and things like that. And then I'll go through my favorite oils that support that. And I'll also give you some tips about how to get those oils for different budgets. So, and to use them obviously. So hopefully we'll get through everything, but please feel free to ask any questions. You can either ask in the comments below or feel free to send me a PM as well. Okay, and there's tons and tons of stuff out there already. So there's amazing books. I mean, there's so many amazing books that I'm going to recommend you. There's so many different videos that have already been done. There's so many amazing classes by amazing people, like, who am I, right? But there's amazing psychiatrists, there's amazing, real specialists in this that, can really go deep into the science of all this. So I'm just going to touch on it all, but feel free to ask me for more information, and I can definitely send you whatever it is that I think would probably talk to you, because there's just so much out there. Okay, and this is all new to me too, because I never really gave power to this. Like when I got into the oils, it was very much for physical reasons, and I was very much, trying to fix things that were going on with my body. And so that is what made me so obsessed with the oils and the physical side. But what also came with that is the emotional benefits. So you just start to feel much more together, much more fulfilled, much more able to just handle life, right? Which is a really wonderful thing. But emotions affect everyone, and it's not just gonna like fix you so you don't ever have emotions again. Emotions are a really powerful, beautiful part of who we are. And I hope that, what's happening in the world, we're going to start to see people realize that emotions are not weak. Emotions mean that you can be extremely strong and be extremely emotional. You can be extremely in touch with what's actually happening in the world. Empathy is a beautiful thing. And, the world needs it. The world needs more of it. The world needs more of us to be in touch with our emotions. It really does. So it's something I've become really passionate about. It's not something I was particularly passionate about, but it is something that I've experienced for myself, and I see it with others. And I have lots of team members who are really, really knowledgeable about this area, and who do amazing teachings with it. So I can also put you in touch with people in the team as well. Okay, so let's start. So yeah, we're kind of talking about so basically the body is made up of, millions of intelligent cells wired to restore health. Emotions are information carrying molecules that bind and react with cell receptors. So they go into the cell impacting function and behavior. So what that all means in a nutshell is that, you know, our emotions are not just separate. Our mind is not just something that we have complete control of, and our body is out of our control. Everything is very much connected. And I do find it fascinating, you know, when I'm working with people and looking up the emotional reasons behind the ailments that they're complaining about. So even things of like a sore back, you know, a sore shoulder, somebody who suffers with endometriosis, someone who suffers from headaches, you know, it could be absolutely anything. And there's literally emotional connections with this in the body. So I've read, and so I believe from my own experience. It's you know, that's very early science days with things like that, obviously, but it's extremely interesting how when you heal one thing, you can heal another thing, or when you love an oil for a certain emotion, like the symptom clears up, or vice versa. And it's also really interesting when someone comes to me with a lot of different physical complaints, like whether it's, I don't want to go into technical things about illnesses actually, but you know, when they come to me with different complaints, and I look up the oils that help those things, it's often the same oils that help their different complaints. So there's 100% in my mind that really backs up this thinking of the mind and the body connection. And don't beat yourself up, like, you know, the mind is extremely powerful, but it doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up if you think that your brain and your body are not doing you all the favors, right? Like, it doesn't mean that you're marked forever, or like, you know, I know there's this huge awareness about mental illness now, but I really don't like when people sort of give themselves that label of having a mental illness, that it's separate from them. Okay, like it's something that you can improve over time with dedication to different techniques. So I just always, you know, yeah, I have a slight issue with that label that people give themselves. You know, it's like it's good to recognize the problem, like any illness, like any issue. It's great to recognize it and acknowledge it, but it's not who you are. It's something you're dealing with, and it's something you can get through. So whether this is like a chronic problem with emotions and dealing with whatever it is that you've been through, or life, or the trials and tribulations that is being alive, you know, or if it's, you know, brought on by current circumstances, or by stressful circumstances in general. So yeah, there's 3 different brains, right? There's the mind for logic and intellect. The subconscious mind directs over 90% of behavior. So that's what we're aware of. The heart, the intuition. There are more neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. So we are more controlled by our heart than we are by our brain. Our brain is where the ego is. We think we're in control of everything, but actually we're being controlled a lot by the heart, which is, you know, such a, you know, it's why you can sort of feel people, right? It's why, like, when you're in someone's presence, you can feel what they're about. It's that knowing that's more than our conscious mind. And then of course there's the gut feeling, which a lot of people talk about, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about. 90% of the body's serotonin involved in mood management is produced in the gut. Now that blows my mind, you know, that the gut is so important with this. And people sometimes think they don't have digestive issues, they don't need to support that part of their body. But it's something that everyone does, you know, regardless of how good you are these days, eating healthy foods and all the good stuff. It's impossible to get the nutrients at the moment because the world has gone so far with pollution. It's gone so far with toxicity that the food, it doesn't even have what it used to have, right? So you would have to eat a lot more of things, and by eating a lot more of them, you're also getting a lot of the bad stuff, like the pesticides and the, you know, all that nonsense that they put in our food. And even organic food isn't perfect, you know. doTERRA actually have standards when they're making sourcing their oils, and they're way above what organic is, because it doesn't quite go back enough, you know. And different countries have different rules and different standards of holding to those rules. So, you know, organic is great, but it's like organic in the sense of, you know, homegrown, grown by farmers who, you know, don't use any of that stuff and haven't ever used any of that stuff. And even in that whole process, there's nothing further back. Like, you've got to look at the seeds, you've got to look at, you know, where it actually originates. So it's a whole big topic that we're not going to go into now. But yeah, the gut feeling is super, super important. And that's why, you know, even when I'm going to talk about some oils now, you know, one of the most important things that when I work with a lot of people, I try to really encourage bringing in the supplements, because the supplements from doTERRA are super easy to take. They are so complex and so broad in what they contain, that they're just they make such an amazing difference to the body. And you can also then look into doing like a gut cleanse, you know, which is like little supplements with some oregano inside and things like that, because that's going to actually clear out all the nasty stuff out the gut. I'm not even going to get technical here, you know, all the nasty stuff out the gut, and really support you to do better. Things like drinking lemon oil in your water in the morning is a fantastic way to do that. Terrazymes, enzymes, you know, amazing way to support the gut. Okay, but let's get on to the fun stuff too. So obviously things happen, right? Life experiences happen. And then we process that, whatever it is that's happening. And that's all in our conscious mind, in our rational mind, in our intelligent, from our experience, right? Because everything is tainted by our experiences in life. So whatever we've gone through till now dictates how we process what's happening at the moment. And there was a quote, this is going slightly off the thing, but I did put a quote on the other day about how people that have been through a lot of trauma in their lives often, as a result, create a real safe zone for themselves. And it might be that they like to be at home a lot. It might be that they like to be out all the time. It might be they like to get drunk all the time. It might be the fact they never like to drink, right? But they're creating a safe place for them that they feel in control. Might be the wrong way to say it, but they feel safe. That's the only way to really say this truly. You know, it's like, it's all about feeling safe, or not feeling safe, right? So that's you processing the emotion, the experience that's happened. You know, I feel overwhelmed, I'm stuck, I have to figure this out. You know, the processing. Feelings are actually really chemicals. This is a quote by Dr. Candace Pert, who's a neuroscientist and pharmacologist. Feelings are really chemicals that can help or hurt. Okay, so that's where, you know, when people think, oh, just get a positive mind, just get a positive mind. Positive mind is an amazing thing, but it's the beliefs we contain from those life experiences that really do us the damage. And this is going to take a lot more digging into, which I will do in future videos. But yeah, so we're processing this life experience and it becomes a reaction. So you might have head tension. You might have conflicted feelings, an unsettled stomach. You might be pulled to do things that don't serve you, like addictions and things like this. And then it processes as a belief. So I'm not good enough. It could be so many different things. It could be that, you know, money is bad. It could be that men are bad, that yeah, it could be like there's so many ways that this manifests, and maybe you can even look into your own thoughts and experiences and recognize maybe where beliefs have maybe come off certain experiences. Now that can take quite a lot of digging to get there, but that's where you can work with a coach to really dig into those kind of that kind of depths of things. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit now. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about, you know, one drop of oil has 40 million trillion molecules. These chemical compounds service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. So they're super, super powerful. Essential oils are completely different from any other kind of oil that you use. Coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, you know, whatever it is. Those oils all have much bigger molecules. So they stay on the skin, they feel greasy, they moisturize a lot because they, you know, they really lubricate the surface of your skin. Whereas essential oil, pure essential oil, actually this one is diluted, I believe, but the pure essential oil molecules go through your skin within seconds, and it goes into all the different cells in your body and gets pulled to where they're needed or where they're attracted to the most. So you might find that even over time, the same oil can affect you slightly differently, which is a really interesting thing as well, I think, because the body is amazing. Like, I started to do a course, and I didn't finish this course. It was a nutrition course. It was like doing a freaking PhD in nutrition, and that wasn't what I wanted. I just wanted more knowledge. And it was really, really interesting. I did quite a lot of the classes, but I decided that wasn't where I wanted to focus all my time and all my energy. It was a lot of work. But it was really, really interesting what I learned through that. And I watched so many science videos that I've never seen. I just kept thinking, like, wish they taught us this in school, you know? It would just make us understand so much about life and about symptoms when we get older. I mean, nobody doesn't go through life without something. So, you know, it would just be a really wonderful thing if we had some of this understanding of these universes, of these, like, there's animations of what the cells do and how they work and how they communicate and how they deal with things. And it's absolutely insane, like absolutely insane. It's a whole world, a whole universe of different things going on inside us 24/7 for our benefit. You know, and bodies want to heal. They want to get better with whatever it is. They are trying so hard to get us better. But often there's something that's stopping that. And, you know, sometimes it might be emotions. And so that's why it's super, super important and really, really good to address and stop shying away from. Like, you're not weak if you have emotions, okay? You are strong, you are normal, you are a beautiful person, and you're what the world needs. Like, we're not supposed to not have emotions, okay? So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Essential oils support cell receptors in the body. They promote healthy cell function and they maintain cells' natural state. So just a really, really powerful way, again, to support the cells in your body, which are everything, obviously. Peppermint oil is a good example just to explain where the even essential oil comes from. Like, if you look at a peppermint oil really close, you will see these little sacs. Well, it's really under a microscope, so I do have pictures of that, but I don't have one to show you right now. But you know, there is little oil sacs on the peppermint leaves, and that's the essential oil. And same with rose petals, or in the barks, or in the seeds. And the oils come from all different parts of the plants, and that's what doTERRA are just absolutely incredible at, you know, figuring out which parts of the plants are more potent than others and which ones are going to support us in the most powerful ways. So the science behind this is absolutely insane. Like, doTERRA's science team are second to none. And I just keep saying, like, oh, what I would do to be in a room with those scientists, with everything that's going on in the world today. You know, I would absolutely love to hear their conversations and their thoughts on all this. Because they really are just the most amazing minds, and not just amazing minds, but like really beautiful people as well. Like, they just are just really, really good people. Like, almost everyone in doTERRA, to be perfectly honest. It's really quite something to see all these amazing minds come together, and they can be really, really powerful in creating a whole shift to a whole load of people. So yeah, I'm going off again, but I just get really excited about how they run with things like that. And I was never a science person. I actually argued with my teachers at school that I didn't need to do science because I was going to work in the arts, and so what use was science going to be to me? And it's actually probably, I think, illegal not to do science for your standard grade, but I stuck my ground and I wasn't going to do it. And you know, now I absolutely regret that decision, because science is everything, and it's behind everything, and it explains a lot of things, and it helps us think about things in a more understanding way. Okay. All right, so smell is the fastest way to affect mood. So aromatic molecules have direct access to the limbic area, or the emotional seat of the brain. So really, really important, you know, when we have a trauma. Now, a trauma could be anything. It could be someone making a rude comment to us. It could be somebody making a comment about someone else that we take personally. It could be an action, someone not letting you have something when you were younger, or somebody molesting you. It could be something really serious, right? It could be somebody verbally abusing you, mentally abusing you, manipulating you. It could be someone physically abusing you, sexually abusing you. any of these kind of things, the experiences they're not just on the surface, right? They penetrate into our bodies and they actually stay with us. And that's one of the things that make recovery, you know, such a challenge for so many people. It's just, yeah, it's like it becomes sort of part of the person, right? These experiences, and it almost kind of shapes who people are in many circumstances. So that is what the oils are, a really, really, really good tool to actually chemically alter parts of the brain and part of the body that hold on to these experiences, these beliefs, these thoughts. So different ways you can use the oils would be things like applying over the heart area, the insides, the wrists, or the fleshy pockets behind the ears is also a really great place. I just love to apply them everywhere. So like I'll put them all over my neck, all over my chest. Sometimes I put them on my temples, sometimes even on my forehead. Sometimes I even just put them in my hair so I can like really smell them. I'll often just roll them on my wrists or drop them on my wrists, put them in my hands, inhale like this. Like I'll show you, like this is an oil called Forgive. Oh, can you see this? I'm not sure, but it's a green one. And it's like, it smells divine. It's like being in I call it like a pixie forest, so they never start laughing. But it's like literally like fairies in a forest. It is absolutely incredible. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, you can just pop some in your hands and use your hands as a diffuser and really breathe that in. And then I would just kind of like pop that all in my hair so that then my hair just smells absolutely insanely gorgeous. And I even sometimes just wipe it on my clothes because it's a really nice way to hold on to it. Generally speaking, you really want to put on your skin because you want it to go into your body and affect your cells in the most effective way. Then you can apply, on the back of your neck, across your forehead. Bottoms of your feet is a really, really good place. Some of the oils do have the ability to pass the blood-brain barrier, which is why we're talking about affecting the limbic system and things like that. So even, applying them on the soles of your feet, those oils will travel all the way through your body and actually go inside your brain. So it's a really, really beautiful way to affect things. And you can't help but feel the difference. Like I can even tell, like when I go places, and obviously like I'm always like a walking diffuser, right? So I walk in somewhere and there somebody's like, oh my god, you smell so good. But like I used to wear a lot of perfume, right? Like I used to be the person that you could smell me before you saw me. I remember one of my friend's brothers, I would say. So you know, I always wore like Obsession or, you know, things like this, like when I was really young. So people like literally commented on it all the time, but it was a very different kind of comment. It was like, oh, that's a really nice perfume, or, you know, I did get a lot of compliments on it, but when I get the compliments now, it's like on a different level because it's like this curiosity, like, oh, that smells really good, but like you can tell they're like, I also feel different. You know, and it doesn't like make your nose itch. It's not all synthetic and fake. It's like, this is actually what perfumes should be made of. And now it's, you know, mainly synthetics, or it is essential oil, but it's just not very good quality essential oil because the essential oil like doTERRA, you know, for example, doTERRA sources a whole load of frankincense. And frankincense is an amazingly powerful oil, especially for emotions, but for healing, for, I mean, cell function, it's an insanely powerful oil. So they, you know, they source this in Somalia, and they've not gone in and bought the land. They like go in and they work with the farmers and the harvesters that have been abused for years by these brokers that go in and, you know, milk them for everything they can and cut down their prices and doTERRA pay them really well, pay them to not abuse the trees, to really nurture the trees. In fact, they went in and they gave millions and millions of dollars to these harvesters and farmers to just look after the trees for 3 years because they've been so over harvested by these people, just, you know, out of greed, out of, you know, it's a very valuable commodity. Frankincense, you know, it was given to baby Jesus in the crib, right, with gold and myrrh. Now, frankincense and myrrh are both, you know, two of the most powerful essential oils. So that story, whether you believe it or not, or whether you are religious or not, you know, that story, we all know it. And I never really knew what frankincense or myrrh were. And now I realize why they would be considered even more powerful than gold, or more valuable than gold, sorry, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to go on to actually what oils are my go-tos for emotions. Now, this is by no means all of them. Every single oil doTERRA makes will affect your emotions in some way as well. So this is not like a comprehensive list. This is like my go-to, you know, easy pick up, as in like, you know, oh, I want to feel happy, or I feel a bit sad just now, so I'm going to put this on. Or I just need like a hug, so I put this one on. Or I need to feel like free and like not burdened of something that someone's done to me or something like that. Then I have another oil to put on. You know, I'm not feeling very up for doing a video, so I will pick up my Motivate and put that on, and that will help me just move, you know, just do what it is that you're wanting to do. There's a whole load of different oils, and they all do something different. So I'm just going to run through my top few that are go-tos, and then I'll also tell you the different ways to buy them. You can buy them all individually, which is obviously, you know, great for people with not such high budgets to start using this stuff. Or you can buy them in little group packs, which basically you kind of get one free. So that's how I buy them. I tend to just buy them in those packs, so that I like a freebie. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, maybe my Scottish blood, I don't know, but I like a freebie. So I buy them in the packs. But yeah, you can absolutely buy them individually as well. Okay, and then obviously you can buy them wholesale with the 25% discount if you have an account and you do that through me or somebody else that you know that does doTERRA. Okay, so I will start going through them. So there's the first ones that I started using, because the other ones were actually just launched the last couple of years. So the first ones that I started using were this group called the Mood Management Kit. So they're super amazing. There's one called Balance. There's one called Elevation. One called Citrus Bliss. Where are we? Citrus Bliss. And there's one called Serenity. So these are 4 really beautiful oils that kind of really cover all areas as well. So, and these are ones that I still use to this day. Like, I absolutely love them, you know. So even though these were the ones when I originally started using oils about 4 years ago, these were on the market then. So I was using these, but I still use these even despite all the other ones I'm going to talk about in a minute. So Balance is a really gorgeous one. It's super woodsy. I'm not going to go through all the ingredients, but basically it's got some, it's frankincense, osmanthus, yeah, okay, it's just got lots and lots of really beautiful woodsy kind of smells. And it's called the Grounding Blend because it's very, very, very calming. So some people, like when I first started using it, I was being trained by quite a few girls that were obviously mums and had quite a lot of young kids at home. So this oil was one that they swore by for just staying sane through the day. You know, just keeps you chill. You don't feel stoned or anything, but it keeps you very, very chill. So I love that oil. It's one that I used a lot in the beginning because I'm quite an up person, right? Like I'm quite, yeah, I have a lot of adrenaline. I used to like basically just run on adrenaline. I wouldn't eat or sleep, but I would run on adrenaline. And you know, things were quite stressful and things like that. Like my work was, you know, pretty intense. So that was a really, really, really beautiful one to get started with. Then I'll talk about these two, the Citrus Bliss and Elevation. Now I'm a bigger fan of Citrus Bliss. Most people are a bigger fan of Elevation. But they're both just really beautiful, and you can use them together too, which is a lot of different oils because they've got probably about 10 oils in them each. Things like wild orange, mandarin, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, vanilla in this one. And this one's similar, but it's got some lavender in there, and it's got some Hawaiian sandalwood and ylang ylang. elemi, osmanthus, lemon myrtle. So they're just really, really citrusy, really yummy oils. I remember just thinking that one smelled like just like a candy shop or like a sweetie shop or something. It's just absolutely beautiful. And elevation is, I think, almost like tropical punchy. That's kind of how I would say it. But that's not the technical terms, but that's what I think of. And these are just really, really uplifting oils. Like you can't possibly have them and not really just feel like the uplifting power of it. I mean, it's really, I call it happiness in a bottle. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. So both of those are really for, you know, during the day. You put your balance on in the morning, you put your citrus oils on during the day, and you can also use these in diffusers, right? It's really, really beautiful. doTERRA make the most wonderful diffusers, and they're really reliable, because if you ever have a problem, doTERRA have the most amazing customer care team, so they really look after you. If you ever have a complaint about anything, or it wasn't to work properly or anything, which usually they do, and actually when someone said they don't, it actually did. It was just they hadn't done something properly. But anyway, you know, they would really look after you if something was a problem. But then there's this other one called Serenity, and that one has got some lavender in there. It's got a bunch of really sleepy oils, so it's a really great one to use in the evening. You can also use it during the day if you're not looking to feel uplifted, if you're looking to feel more calm. It's also, you know, one that's really popular like that. And in that way you can mix that with the balance, and that is a really, really amazing calming blend if you have like anxiety, or you feel really nervous about something or anything like that. That's a really, really good blend. So yeah, Serenity. I would use that in the diffuser at night, or just, again, yeah, how I'm kind of using it just now. Actually, I'm just using all of them. This is how I roll. So yeah, put them behind your ears, or on your wrists, or on your chest. And when you're using the oils, you only use 2 to 4 drops. So you use a very, very small amount for really maximum effect. Okay, and then I'm just going to run through the other pack as well. So those mood management ones, actually, I should tell you that they are, to buy the whole kit, you can buy them all separately, so that can be cheaper. But this way, they're £96, similar in euros, obviously, or dollars, or wherever you are, and I can give you specific prices. But just to give you an idea, they're just under £100 wholesale. So that's once you've got your account, you can get them at that price. Or you can buy them just retail if you don't want to open a wholesale account, which is, nobody does that, but I'll just tell you anyway. £128 for that way. Okay, so that's for all of those 4 oils. And they will last you, I mean, God, they can last for years, because you don't use them, you don't use mass amounts. You can use them in the bath, you can use them every day, you can use them in the diffuser, you can dilute them even more and make roll-ons or house sprays or linen sprays, or, you know, there's like endless ways to use them. But you won't find, well, I would be surprised if you bought 4 and you use them very fast. Now, if you buy 1 bottle, of course you will. You'll go through it much faster, and you won't get the complete effect, because you don't have different ones for different times in the day and so on. That's why it's really nice to invest in the 4 and use them like that. But it's better to have 1 than none, and I would absolutely just say go for the one that appeals to you if that's not in your budget. And then, okay, so the next ones are the emotional aromatherapy kit. Goodness me, I was hoping this was going to be a really fast video, and it's not, but that's okay. I just want you to have all the information. So there's the emotional aromatherapy system. So that comes in emotional aromatherapy touch and emotional aromatherapy system. The emotional aromatherapy system comes in small bottles like this. Ooh, where are we? There we go. Is it going to focus? Anyway, this one's called Console. And this one is a 5 ml bottle of the blend. So you can use that in your diffuser, and you can put it on you, you know, wherever appeals to you. You can pop that on you. On your spine is a good place. And use it like that. Or you can buy the oils in rollerballs, which is the touch kit. So emotional aromatherapy touch. And these have been pre-diluted. They're in little roller balls, come with a nice little metal roller ball on the end. And you can just roll those on. to your pulse points, to your chest, to your neck, wherever you want to use them. It's pre-diluted. I find that they last a lot longer if you're not wanting to shell out for some, you know, if you want to like make them last basically. I find the touch ones last a really, really long time because you can just use a little bit. It goes further because it's already diluted, so it doesn't sink in the skin so fast. Therefore, it lasts a bit longer, the smell as well. But yeah, the straight ones are really, really good as well because they go in your body faster. You can put them in a diffuser. So yeah, I like to have both personally, but obviously just go for what suits you or what appeals to you. So in this kit we have Console. Big hug. I'm not going to go through all the reasons you use Console. I think it's quite self-explanatory. For me, it smells like purple. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's like a big hug. I absolutely love it. I love all these oils, so I'm going to keep saying that. Okay, I'm going to move on. So yeah, there's Console, which is like a big hug. There is Cheer, which obviously is like happiness in a bottle. It's wonderful. It's super uplifting, super citrusy, really zingy. Oh, it's really, really, really lovely oil. Okay, then we have Motivate. As I mentioned before, if you're feeling unmotivated, what would you pick up? Your Motivate, and you can just pop that on. You can even just inhale into the bottle. You don't even have to put them on or put them in a diffuser. You can just inhale from the bottle. That's how much you could make them last. However, obviously it's in variations of power, right? If you're just smelling it, you're getting the compounds, but only through your nose into your lungs and stuff like that, which is wonderful, especially at times like this. But also putting them in the diffuser is a really wonderful way to get that aroma and fill the whole house and affect other people. And you know, it stays. It's not like something you have to open and hold in front of your nose. It's pumping off this beautiful mist for hours and hours and hours. So that's a really wonderful way. Then we'll move on to Peace. So this is a gorgeous oil. Again, kind of makes me think of, it's not foresty like the Forgive one, but maybe it's more like sea-like, but it's, yeah, it's really sort of cooling almost. Really, really stunning oil. Very calming. What's it called? The Reassuring blend. That kind of says it all, right? Super reassuring. So that one and Console or Forgive, they can all be used together. And that's the beautiful thing when you layer them as well. It's just like this flood of hugs that you're getting. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, and then Passion is another one that I absolutely love. It's got some clove in there and things like that. Passion can be used for anything you want to be passionate about. So whether it's your partner, whether it's your job, whether it's your children, whether it's your life in general, that's a really, really lovely one to use. And it's a much more sort of warm smelling one. So it's got, yeah, some much more sort of cozy feeling oils in there. So yeah, I think that's the 6. We've got Passion, Peace, Motivate, Cheer, Console, and Forgive. That's that kit right there. I will tell you how much those are before I move on to the last couple that I want to mention. So the Emotional Aromatherapy System with the 6 items. So that is the small bottles, the 5 ml bottles, pure essential oil, not diluted with coconut oil. And that is £130.75 wholesale, £174.33 for retail. So that's the price of those ones. Now you can buy those individually as well. So they're all going to be, you know, about a 1/6 of the price or a 1/5 of the price really, because you're getting one free really. Or you can buy the Touch Kit, which is the roller balls. So these ones here, which I do think last a bit longer, but you're not getting them straight in your body. So yeah, it really just depends what way you want to apply them. Like if you want to have them in your pocket to use, you might prefer the roller, and you can always buy the other one later on, right? So, you know, just start with whichever one appeals to you. You're not going to be sorry, you're going to love it. And then, you know, you can try the other one out next time. And sometimes they have like amazing deals on too. So you can pick some up, you know, free or for a really good deal. Emotional Aromatherapy Touch Kit. So that's those 6 oils, but in the roller balls, is £103. and about £138 retail. So that's again for all 6, and they will last you a very long time, I would imagine. Mine last me, I'd possibly say like a year, depending on where I'm at. I think I've probably used some faster than that. I remember when I first got Console, and well, I got the kit, but I started using Console and Forgive a lot. I use a lot of that. So it really just depends what your, maybe you'll go through Cheer faster than the other ones, but it's really nice to have them all because you can layer them up. And even if you don't recognize that's something that you need to do, forgiveness doesn't have to be something really huge. It can be forgiving yourself for not being the best at this, or for not doing enough, or for, everyone needs to forgive. Everybody needs to forgive, big time. Everyone needs to be consoled. There's something inside all of us that needs to be consoled. Cheer is something that even